This project I'm going to be making some pretty Christmas tea light or candle holders. I got these molds from Let's Resin, and there's 3 of them in a package. And to clean your silicone molds, all you do is turn them inside out and use painter's tape to get all the residue out of them, and then push them back into place. It is super easy to do. For this project, I'm using Bond Craftor resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin. In the first tea light I'm making, I wanted to experiment with this tube confetti. I've never used it in a mold before. I've just used it to decorate like glass on glass art. And I thought it would be pretty if we tried this. I used the red, the green, and the gold. And so when you're using glitter in resin, it tends to sink to the bottom, so I thought maybe this would do the same thing. So I put some clear Elmer's glue in it, and if you don't know, that's the way you get glitter not to sink, is by putting clear Elmer's glue in it. So Loretta on our Facebook group, who also has a YouTube channel called Awesome Incidentals, makes a lot of molds with glitter, and she uses it all the time, and she says it really works, and you'll see if you keep on watching that it does. So come to find out, tube confetti actually floats instead of sinks. So I'll show you at the end what happened with this one, but it certainly is very pretty, the tube confetti. Next, I decided to do 3 of them with these little peppermints. They had little loops on them that I had to take off with the jewelry tool, and then I placed about 6 of them all around the inside perimeter. Now remember, the bottom is actually the top. So I just spaced them out equally, and I poured resin over the top of them to make my very first layer. And these, I was afraid that they were going to float, so I just did 1 layer. And in the resin I mixed a little bit of white glitter just to give it a little sparkle. After I was sure all of them were where I wanted them to be, I let it set up for about 4 hours. Then I mixed up some more resin, and I put some glitter, red glitter in it, and I poured it on top of all 3 of those. And I did this after I was sure it wouldn't interfere with the first layer. It had to be set up, at least gelled. These, I feel like I overfilled some. I think it's in your best interest to fill them not quite all the way to the top. And you can see the one oblong one is kind of, the mold is actually a little bit deformed. It pushes down on one side. The next 3 I decided to put these little Christmas bulbs in there. And what I did was I put some resin in with them and kind of let them soak in them first to make it release any bubbles. And then I poured each little cup into the, again, the bottom is the top, and kind of spread them out equally. And again, let it set up till I was sure the first layer was gelled. It was about 4 or 5 hours later. Molds like this, it's in your best interest not to use any heat on them. It could damage the mold. The best way to get rid of bubbles is to use isopropyl alcohol before you pour the resin and after you pour the resin, and mix very slowly to prevent any bubbles. Next, I mixed up more resin, and this time I put Elmer's glue in it. Again, I should say I put Elmer's glue in it, clear Elmer's glue. And when you put the clear Elmer's glue in it, it gets real gloppy. I don't know any other way to describe it, but it really gets very, very thick. And here you can see what it does. It's just really gloppy. And this is what you do to prevent the glitter from sinking. Otherwise, all the glitter will go to the bottom. So I mixed in the red chunky glitter, and this is so pretty. This is regular Michael's chunky glitter that you get right up at the Michael's craft store. And they have some beautiful glitters there. And I'm thinking the more the glitter, the better. And again, it's in your best interest not to fill these up all the way up to the top. You can see that other one, I way overfilled it. And they're easier to work with if you do not fill them all the way to the top. Don't show the unmolding of the tube confetti one, but I will show you at the end. And these are real pretty, but I should have put more of the bulbs in, and the red ones kind of blend into the background, so you need something more colorful for the top. If you're going to be using red, I wouldn't use red bulbs or have some other color bulbs in there. I think all that was in there was silver, red, and gold. And there's just too few of them in there. It would have been better if there was a whole bunch of them in there. When working with molds, the resin actually sinks as it's curing, and it kind of comes up along the side and leaves a ridge. And so I'm using this deburring tool to get the ridge off of it. And the other thing that I did was I took a little piece of sandpaper and sanded the bottom down a little. Now this leaves the bottom of it with kind of a white, very not very pleasant appearance on the bottom. And what I did to get rid of the white appearance on the bottom is I took some UV resin and put it, spread it on the bottom with my gloved hand, and then use the UV light to set it. And then the bottom of it looks pretty again. So I know you don't see the bottom of it, but still you kind of want it to look nice, especially if you're going to sell your stuff. So here is another set of the tea lights that I did. I mixed up some more resin, and this time I decided to use Jingle bells in a variety of colors, and they do have holes in them which are going to create a lot of bubbles. So I poured the resin in first and kind of mixed them around and let them sit around for a while so that all the bubbles would rise to the top. Then when I thought I got rid of the majority of the bubbles, I did heat them up when the bubbles came to the top with my little heat gun, and then I dumped them into each of the molds and kind of moved them around with my spoon to make sure they were spaced out evenly. I did add a little more resin into each of them, squirted them with some isopropyl alcohol, and let them set up for about 4 or 5 hours. Here again, I added the clear Elmer's glue and the green chunky glitter from Michaels, which is really pretty. And then just poured them in each of them and let them set up overnight. And again, demolded them and used the deburring tool to get the line off the back of it. And in 1 minute, I'm going to show you them all together. These turned out really pretty, I think. Hey everyone, so these were a lot of fun to make. I could have made a ton more, but I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with them all? So anyway, what I discovered was that if you're going to put something in the top of them, you need to put a lot, or hit a lot of a filling, because these ones that I made with the little Christmas lights in them, it looks kind of sparse, and I think it would look prettier if maybe there was some green or something else, and the little red lights in there kind of blend in with the red glitter. But I do love the chunky, I tell you what, I don't know what it is, but the chunky glitters from Michaels are so pretty. And there's also some real pretty mica powders that sparkle, but for some reason, I'm on a glitter kick. And this one I think worked out a lot better with the Jingle bells in it because I had so many of them. So it just adds a lot to it, I think. And these little tea lights, I don't like candles anymore because I have cats, or it has to be in something that's deep because I had a cat's singe his tail on a candle once years ago. But I just put these in here to show you what they look like. But these were actually white tea lights that I painted the top of them green so that it would match because the white looked funny in it. So just a tip if you're, wanting to put something out on display, but not really wanting to light them. And then these I thought turned out real cute. I didn't use a whole lot of glitter in them, but the coloring went real well with the peppermints in there. I just thought those turned out real cute. And because they were so big, they kind of filled in the area. And then the little bit of sparkle from the glitter that I put in it didn't occlude the peppermint, keep you from seeing it, but it just added a little bit to it instead of being just clear up at the top. So you do have to let your first layer set up before you put your second layer in, or it could sink in, into there. And The other tip was, the other one I did, I forgot to show you this. So this one is with the tube confetti. And I thought, oh yeah, so just to keep this from sinking, I'll put the Clear Elmer's glue in it. And you can see so I did it, I think, did I do it in 2 layers? I don't know what I did, but you can see how up at the top here, it's kind of empty. I don't know if you can see that. And look at how the bottom, because it all floats, it floated up to the top. So had I left that in there and had it a little bit down further, I could have done a layer of resin the next day and it would have been nice and flat, but you can actually feel the tube confetti. So tube confetti floats, who knew? So, and glitter sinks. And that's a great tip about the Clear Elmer's glue. Loretta from Awesome Incidentals uses it all the time in her projects. She's also on our Facebook group. She does a lot of molds and she says it works great, and I tried it and it does. So just a tip for the glitters to keep it from sinking. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Oh, I got to show you the molds. I don't remember if I showed you these. These are the molds from Let's Resin. There's 3 of them in a pack. And I mean, you don't have to make all 3. You can make your just one, a favorite one. It would make a real cute gift for somebody, like a hostess gift, or, you know, Christmas gift, anything. And of course, you don't have to do it in the Christmas colors. There's a million other ideas on how you could do these. You could do them coastal or just everyday with the glitters or without the glitters or with mica powders. There's 100 different ways. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. If you enjoy the channel, go ahead and subscribe. The Facebook page, amazing group of people. Everybody's displaying all their Christmas artwork, all sorts of ideas, all sorts of tips. And come join us there. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.